Welcome back to the Deep Dive, listeners, where we, dive deep into the OGL. So this week, well, it's a big one, right? I mean, Super Bowl week?
Super Bowl week, can you believe it?
Crazy, right? Inaugural OGL championship. And we've got a face-off, a real clash of titans, you could say, between
Yeah, who would have thought, huh?
the Vatican City
The
Saints
Saints.
taking on the Monsters of the Midway, both #1 seeds.
It's going to be good.
One championship, lots of,
Lots on the line.
bragging rights, money, the whole 9 yards.
$750, not to mention bragging rights, for the champ.
Not bad for a day's work, huh?
Not bad at all. And the loser still gets $300, so,
Not too shabby.
not too shabby.
But before we get into this titanic clash, maybe we should rewind a bit. Take a look at last week's playoffs, Kind of break down how these two teams got here.
Sounds good. Break it down.
Starting in the Legacy Conference. You called it last week. Got to give you credit. The Saints, they marched right over the San Francisco Ferries.
They did. 194 to 157. That's a pretty decisive victory.
Yeah, pretty decisive.
A real, it was like a strategic masterpiece, That Saints offensive liturgy was in full force.
Oh, yeah.
Spread the ball around like a real crusade, getting key contributions from everyone on the roster.
Yeah, and, Devon the Prophet A-Chain sealed the deal. A spectacular, 50-yard touchdown.
Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful.
A pretty impressive performance overall. I mean, he really stepped up for the Saints.
And, got to give credit where credit is due, right? Initially, you weren't so sure about those veteran receivers. But Keenan Allen, clutch performance.
Oh, he was
141 receiving yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Even Devontae Adams found his place in that Saints offense, scored a touchdown of his own.
Yeah, you were right about that one. But the Ferries, I mean, they didn't go down without a fight, did they? James Conner, the engine.
Oh, what a workhorse, that guy.
An absolute beast
Until that knee injury, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate that. But before that, I mean, he put up, 166 total yards, a touchdown.
That's the heart of a ferryman, Always working hard, even when the waters get rough.
Yeah, those rough waters.
But, they just couldn't match that Saints firepower on offense in the end.
Yeah, they couldn't keep up. Joe Burrow, Amon-Ra St. Brown, George the Anchor Kittle. I mean, they all had, decent games.
Decent, yeah.
But just not enough. Not enough to overcome that Saints offensive machine.
Well-oiled machine, that one.
So let's switch gears a bit. Head over to the Legends Conference. Once again, you nailed it with the prediction.
I did.
The Monsters of the Midway, they lived up to their name.
They really did.
Crushed the Bennington Barnstormers.
Yeah.
163 to 131.
Crushing it. Yeah.
They're just relentless, They impose their will on the Barnstormers. Bennington, there was nothing they could do.
It's nothing at all.
And the Barnstormers, boom or bust style. This week, more of a bust.
More bust than boom.
Those turnovers, man, really stalled their momentum.
Yeah. Tough.
Lamar Jackson, the stuntman, had a solid game, overall. But that red zone interception,
That was a killer.
real killer. And their running back committee, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson Jr., I mean, they couldn't,
No running room at all.
nothing against that ferocious Monsters defense.
Those monsters, they just swarmed like gargoyles, just descending, hungry gargoyles.
So the Monsters, I mean, they stuck to the game plan. Derek the King Henry just dominated on the ground, pounding away,
6 months.
paving the way for Tua, the terror Tagovailoa, to, kind of surgically pick apart that secondary.
Methodical, right? It's a classic monster strategy. Just wear them down with that physicality and then, boom, unleash the terror, that aerial assault.
And the King, I mean, he delivered, right?
Yeah.
162 rushing yards.
Yeah.
And that was without
Without the lion, even.
David Montgomery, sidelined with a knee injury.
Sidelined, but the King, I mean, he just shrugged it off, carried the load.
Performance fit for royalty.
It really was.
And the way they spread the wealth, it's incredible. Jamar the Beast Chase, he continued that scoring streak. And then, you had some unexpected breakouts. Jameson Williams, a re-energized Deebo Samuel Sr.
It's beautiful, isn't it? So many weapons. You can't focus on just one. They're attacking from all angles.
Oh, yeah. Never letting up. And now we've got these two powerhouses set to collide in the Super Bowl. The Saints, that divinely inspired offense, balanced, versus, the sheer terror of the Monsters.
It really is a clash of civilizations, isn't it?
Two #1 offenses in the league going head to head. This could be a shootout for the ages.
The Vatican City Saints representing that order, that precision
something
against the chaos, the destruction of the monsters of the Midway.
Battle for the soul of the OGL.
It really is.
So let's dig into the Saints a bit. Strengths and weaknesses. They seem to be peaking at the right time, the balanced attack, key players stepping up. But can they keep it going against this monstrous challenge, right?
They're like a well-oiled machine, aren't they? Every piece working together in harmony.
It really is.
You got Brock Purdy, the chosen one, starting, and get this, the Messiah, Patrick Mahomes, advising from the sidelines.
Talk about heavenly guidance, huh? Pretty fascinating dynamic. Do you think it'll be a distraction at all, or will Mahomes' experience be a valuable asset for Purdy?
It's tough to say, really. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? On the one hand, that wisdom, that guidance from a champion, but then there's always that risk, Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, too many cooks.
Could disrupt the flow.
And the arsenal Purdy has at his disposal, it's pretty impressive. I mean, will they lean on the veteran experience, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams? Or go with that youthful explosiveness, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, the Archangel. Oh, and let's not forget about the rookie sensation, Brock Bowers, the Crusader at tight end. A treasure trove of talent, that's for sure. And then, of course, the big question mark, can Isaiah Pacheco shake off those injury woes? That's a big one. Will it be the Prophet, A-Chain, and Zach Charbonnet carrying the load?
Yeah, so many questions in that backfield. Now, let's turn our attention to those monstrous monsters. I mean, they've been steamrolling opponents all season.
It's scary, isn't it?
It's almost scary how dominant they've been.
A force of nature, a whirlwind of destruction.
Yeah, and their formula, it's clear, right? Derek the King Henry dominates on the ground, opens things up for Tua.
The terror.
To find, those elite receivers.
And when your primary targets are scary Terry McLaurin and the Beast, Jamar Chase, I mean...
That's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for any secondary. Plus, Deebo Samuel Sr., back with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah. He looked good last week.
It's like facing a hydra, You cut off one head, 2 more grow back.
So the key question, right? Can Tua overcome those lingering concussion concerns? I mean, can he deliver a championship caliber performance under the bright lights, right?
$1 million question, that's for sure. If Tua is at his best, the monsters are tough to beat. But if he's not fully recovered, that could open the door for the Saints.
It could. It really could. And they will be without the Lion, David Montgomery, in the backfield.
Yeah.
So can they replicate that dominance without him?
A challenge. It'll be a challenge, but I wouldn't underestimate those monsters. They've got depth, and a hunger that can't be satiated.
I hear you on that. So this Super Bowl, I mean, it's shaping up to be an epic clash of styles. Saints, that methodical precision versus the monsters, that raw power, it's almost too close to call.
It's strength versus strategy, isn't it? Will the Saints' meticulous planning, that execution be enough? Or will the monsters just overpower them with that brute force?
Yeah, big questions. So, Alexa, I mean, are you ready to make some predictions?
Oh, I love making predictions.
I know you do.
But this one's a real nail biter.
It really is.
Both teams, I mean, they have so much going for them.
2 unstoppable forces.
Clash of the Titans, that's what it is. Okay, I'm going with the Saints. I think their balance, their depth, and that divine intervention factor, I think it'll be enough.
Interesting. I'm actually leaning towards the monsters. I think the King, I think he'll be unstoppable, and if Tua can stay healthy, connect with those receivers, I think they'll just be too much for the Saints.
Well, guess we'll have to wait and see, huh?
We will. It's going to be an epic Super Bowl. Can't wait to break it all down next week.
Until then, let's just enjoy the hype, right? The anticipation. This is what the OGL is all about.
It really is.
The drama, the excitement, the thrill of victory.
It's been an amazing, amazing inaugural season.
It has. And the Super Bowl, I mean, it's the perfect way to cap it off. All those weeks of intense competition, the strategies, those incredible performances, who would have thought, right? The Vatican City Saints, that mix of veteran, savvy and that youthful energy going up against the monsters of the Midway, that team built on pure power, that relentless pursuit of the end zone.
I mean, it really shows the parity, the unpredictability of this league.
I guess.
Any given Sunday. Anyone can pull off an upset, make a statement.
Makes it so exciting.
And that's what makes the OGL so captivating, I think.
It is. And that's what makes the Super Bowl so intriguing. 2 teams, completely different styles, both hungry for that first ever OGL championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's safe to say, regardless of who wins, this Super Bowl, it's going to be one for the ages.
Oh, absolutely.
Clash of styles, battle of wills, and a celebration of everything that makes the OGL so compelling.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with a final thought. Yeah.
Okay, final thought.
Beyond the touchdowns, the yards, the fantasy points, what's really captivating, I think, about the OGL is that sense of community, that shared passion for the game.
Yeah.
A league where rivalries are born, legends are made.
Every touchdown celebrated, every victory savored, every heartbreak, felt collectively.
It's that shared experience, that bond between the fans and the players. That's what makes the OGL so special.
It really is.
So to all the players, the coaches, the fans out there, thank you for making this first season such a success.
Yeah, thank you.
And as we look ahead to next season, who will those new rivals be? What unexpected heroes will rise to the occasion? And who will ultimately hoist that coveted OGL championship trophy?
Lots to look forward to.
It is.
Well, until then, stay tuned for more deep dives, more insights.
More of that football analysis you've come to expect from us.
We'll be back next week with a full breakdown of the Super Bowl, all the highlights, turning points.
And of course, our expert analysis.
Of course.
Until then, Ian, let's keep the faith, enjoy the game, and may the best team win.
Cheers to that, Alexa. Cheers to that. And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll see you next time. This has been a presentation of the Omaha Gridiron League podcast.